we know that you guys went through a 3-week boot camp. Were you prepared for this experience?
You see, for me, the boot, I remember it. I was very, very gung-ho. I mean, I was ready to go for this. I knew off the bat that I was probably going to be the smallest guy there, and I was going to have to earn a spot between, some of the lead characters, and just try and do well so the producers and writers can write more for me and get me in, and I just knew how to find ways to stand out. And boot camp allowed me to do that in a lot of ways. Bonding with the guys, having some fun with them. There were some very memorable comedic moments that happened with me on there that any one of the guys will tell you. But for the most part, yeah, I went in tremendous shape. I was capable of doing 100 push-ups without stopping. I mean, without stopping. I could just do them in like 60, 70 seconds, 100 push-ups. I was just running miles at a time. It was when you got your gear on, your webbing and everything, is when it got a little tough, because I was probably, I want to say 125, 130 pounds, and the webbing and everything, your gear, your helmet was about 15, 20. So, I'm carrying 10% of my body. I mean, what was it, 10%? No, almost 15, 20% of my body weight every day. But what happened was, I'll tell you a funny story, is we got to do the agility course. Which is, you run across a beam, then you slide on the barbed wire, you jump, you got to climb the rope, you have to, all that fun stuff. And for me, I grew up in the Bronx, man. We did that on rooftops, and we did that gates. Every time we'd throw an egg at a cop car, we'd go and, run through people's backyards, jump gates, climb fire escapes, go on the roof, jump a roof. We had all these ways, and we called them trails, to get away from anybody. And if like a rival crew or gang came by and there wasn't enough of us to fight, we knew we had our ways, our trails, and I was always the fastest kid, and I always ran the trails better than anybody. So when we got to do this agility course, man, I looked it up, I sized that thing up, and I went, hell yeah. And the first thing was a wall that was really high that I couldn't just grab. Most people could run up to it, jump off the wall, and grab top, pull themselves over. I had to do the double jump up. I had to actually take the 2 steps up it, and I made it over, and I ran, and after I made it over that wall, I knew I was out. And I'm not kidding. I mean, anyone will vouch for you. I was on the other end of that agility course, 30 seconds, and it's only about, I want to say, a 2-minute agility course, 30 seconds before anybody even came across the line. Oh my God. And when I got back to cadre, his name was Freddie Joe Farnsworth. We used to have it out. He'd pick on me about my size all the time. And when I was walking back, he looked at me and he was like, God damn, Perconte, man, and you did that faster than anyone I've ever seen, anyone I could have had in my damn company for real. And I remember something like that. That goes, do you remember those things? And you just want to stand out at least once in a group of men. And I stood out, and I felt good about that. So, so yeah, man, the boot camp was a trip. It was great. It was tough for some people. It was, but we had a great time. It helped us out tremendously because you had to call each other by the names and understand the ranking and people's positions. What a lot of us didn't know. I mean, I don't really know who's a first lieutenant and a lieutenant and a major and a corporal and a private. I don't even know who the hell's bigger than who. Who am I? I'm a sergeant. I don't know if you got bigger ranking than me. Until one comes running in your face and tells you to get down and do push-ups, you're like, oh, okay, all right, I'm going, And so it's
that's awesome.
You learned a lot.
So, out of the rest of the cast members, who did you bond with the most? Who do you still talk to all the time?
Well, the funny thing is this, and you're going to probably learn this as you speak to some of the other guys, bonding with everybody equally. I mean, I could, no matter who I see, you drop everything and say hello, and that's just the respect that we have for everybody because of the project that we were on. As far as bonding, I bonded with Rick Gomez, the character who played Luz, right away in London, and what we realized more as the film went on, that those guys were best friends. I mean, it was a coincidence. I couldn't believe it. The fact that they were best friends and me and Rick wound up being great friends. But I will say that I see Mr. Ron Livingston almost daily or weekly. Rick Gomez, I was just on the phone with him before I got on Black Sky Radio with you. I spoke to Michael Cudlitz, who plays Bull today. I text and email Ross very frequently. Richard Speight, who plays Muck, see him all the time. Colin Hanks, see him. I mean, it's just, we have our reunions once a year, and we bonded with everybody. I mean, we really, really became a band of brothers. I mean, we are all brothers. It's incredible. And when we go to the reunions, the casting directors and the producers and the writers, they say that, and even we say it. They're like, man, this is such a unique project that like nobody usually do a movie and it's done. But because of what you guys went through and how much respect you have for each other and how much you actually love each other and care for each other's families, we get together, all the time. I see these guys all the time. I went to the Yankee-Dodger game with Rick Gomez the other day. I mean, it's those guys are family to me.
That's totally awesome.
Do you think
that crazy?
Do you think that was the vision from the beginning, or it just happened that way?
Meg Lieberman, she'll tell me that was lightning in a bottle. She'll be like, it's never happened again, Jim. That casting is not. It'll be, you can get close, but she'll always say that was just something, that very unique. You had a bunch of guys, and you just picked all the right guys who got along with each other. There was no egos. Your egos were thrown out the door the minute you got to boot camp, because you realize you're all in this together, and you need the man to the left of you, and you need the man to the right of you to get you through this. So you didn't care who it was or what they've done. You just needed them, and there were no egos. And yeah, I don't think even Tom and Steven knew what they were going to be getting, but now they know. And, those guys just, they adore us just as much as we adore them for what they've done for our careers. It's a great project, and really, truly is an extremely monumental project. I say it all the time.